for the superpower governments like the Canadian and US and UN organizations. Please post democracy, human rights, and justice. It is not supervision, and it is a real action, and it is not a supervision with the paper statement, right? So justice will prevail. Yeah. My name is Soe. I was born and raised in Myanmar. I'm a former second secretary at the Myanmar embassies in Ottawa. And before joining to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I want to tell about my education background. I have a Bachelor of Education from the Yangon Institute of Education and Master of Public Administration from Yangon University of Economics. And I always dreaming to be a diplomat since I was very young. That's why I had to take 3 times to get this position. After taking the 3rd time, I passed these exams, and the fortune gave me a chance to work as a diplomat at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. After spending 4 years in this session, so I was transferred to the Embassy of Myanmar in Ottawa or Canada as a first abroad assignment. I came to Canada in the 2020 January. So my transfer is coincidence with the COVID-19 pandemic. That's why I first experience is a work from home at the time. And 2020 October, I contributed actively and effectively to the advanced voting process of my embassy. So I made sure not to lose the right to vote on Myanmar citizens living in the Canada. But unfortunately, I faced the sun-based change in my life, and then the coup, it happened on the 1st February 2021. It changed my life a lot. Now I am supporting the teams or UN Ambassador Soe Wuttye Htoo, who took part in the civil disobedience movements. And as you all know, and as you will see the news about Myanmar in the world news, so right now, Myanmar is in the serious civil war. The military is seen as the common enemies. Different ethnic groups, as you all know, our country, Myanmar, has so many types of the ethnicities. Is officially recognized as we have 135 ethnics and living together in my country. We all recognize the military is our common enemy. The military's response has been brutal. So, you know, the military, they lose control of the cities or the military base. They bomb civilians areas like the schools and the hospitals. So this had led to many civilians losing their lives and homes and getting injuries. So the UN Ambassador Soe Wuttye Htoo, who also took part in the CDM, Civil Disobedience Movement, has asked many times to the UN Security Council to declare a no-fly zone to protect the civilians from this airstrike. But so far, nothing can be done. The biggest thing UN did for the Myanmar is issuing resolutions 2669 in 2022, in which the UN Security Council demands immediate end to violence in Myanmar and ask restraints. However, in my personal opinion, this resolution seems to be to amount little more than the paper commitment, right? So, and also, the UN investigator said that more than 3 million people of Myanmar has been forced to flee their home in the last 6 months as the fighting is intensifying. So the head of the UN Independent Investigation for Investigative Mechanism for Myanmar, IIMM, said they have collected substantial evidence showing that the brutality and inhumanity in the Myanmar. So this is the current situation of Myanmar. And then I want to add something about my opinions in this. I think the military thought they could end the efforts or this 2021 coups could quickly, just like they did the previous coups. It happened in the 1988 uprising, something like this. So they probably believe that if they punish the protesters harshly, or if they use the light ammunition into the protester, everything would go back to normal quickly. They think that. But now it's clear that things are not going as they plan. According to the Assistant Association for Political Prisoners, the AAPP, so since the coup on the 1st February 2021, so now around 5,500 people have died, including the pro-democracy civilians, activists, over 1,000 old women, and nearly 700 children have died also. My journeys into activism really started with this emotional sense of injustice and a strong commitment to the human right. Growing up in Myanmar, I was always touched to respect authorities. So this means that I always stay away from the fight and arguments because I don't want any conflicts with other people. I want to live peacefully within myself. That's okay for me. So that's why I never thought to fight against or something like this, and government is not helping me. So this situation shaped me to be extremely introvert and the obedient person. But everything changed on the 1st February 2021. So when the military coups happened, the violence that followed after the military coup, especially the tragic death of the 7-year-old girl in Mandalay, this hit me hard. And for my life, it is a wake-up call for me. And I realized I could not just stand by and do nothing. I recognize I am a diplomat. So what is the main responsibility of the diplomat? I think I'm a representative of the people of the Myanmar. So this is the real diplomat. At the mornings of the 26th February 2021, I think it might be the Friday, and I came to the office at 9 a.m. and I take a seat in my office and I doing things, my daily office work. At the time, I opened the YouTube and I had strange and breaking news from the world news. So I see the UN ambassador was taking a speech in the UN General Assembly. So I listened the speech of the UN ambassador Jomoto. So I didn't believe what to say. So it means that I heard some important words is just like that he said NUG, National Unity Government, and Civil Disobedience Movement. He says the important thing. He allies to the democracy and against the military. After finish his speech, he taking his 3-finger strikes, and so it's the sign or he follows to the people of Myanmar. It's against the democracy. At the time, I'm so surprised. I feel also afraid. At the time, I feel some opposite feeling in my mind. The first one is I really afraid of what happened in his future because he is the higher ranks or he's the very higher ranks or the ministry. So So in the history, not even his position. So no diplomats or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs didn't do against the military governments in history. So never happened like this. I respect his whole speech and I respect his bravely movement. That's why I think I was thinking at the time. So, oh, even he could do, even the ranks or the ambassador could do like this sacrifice. So why don't I can do like this my position? Because I'm just a second secretary post, right? That's why I getting involved with the civil disobedience movement or Syrians, and it's what a huge shit for me, and going from a silence diplomat, silence and very obedient diplomat to the actively participating in something that could put me at risk. And then I joined to the Syrians on the 25 March 2021. So to show my solidarity and stand with the peoples of Myanmar, I could not align myself with the government's committees such horrific acts and crime against humanity on its own people. So, as I said earlier, so I really focused on making sure Myanmar citizens not to lose their right to vote as 2020 election, the military coups withdraw all the things I did and all the posts that people did. So I feel injustice and we lose human rights for more than 70 years. So I don't want to feel like this situation for the future generations. That's why I try to the CDM and support the UN ambassador as a remote member, and as well as the being part of his team, and which allow me to strengthen my effort for democracy and human rights in Myanmar as a bigger stage. And I can see my journey has been all about breaking away from the norms I was raised with and challenging injustice and human rights abuse. Since I started to walk this long ways or this journey, so I face success. I face both success and then many challenges. And I want to tell about the success. Firstly, I think the biggest success is I can make the big decisions to join the CDM, civil disobedience movement. This is my biggest success. Has been living under the oppressive rule of the military governments. Most people don't want to speak out and don't want to produce their voice loud, and they even don't know to pursue their rights to the government. So actually it's a very difficult for the people of the Myanmar, and then as a government state, particularly in the diplomats, they have faced a higher risk if they speak out about the political issue, about the military government, because so they can be done their life when they speak out about this. So it means that they can face the life-threatening penalty. And if they speak out and if they say about something wrong about the government. So I mean that no one don't want to take this risk because they don't want to handful of their immediate family. So that's why the military member is very brutal. People outside our country don't know in detail about their brutalities. We know in detail about their brutalities. So that's why no one cannot handle and go. No one don't want to touch the political things because it can be all dance or their lives, right? That's why I think this is the biggest challenge and biggest risk for me also. Before I deciding to join, I already knew I gonna be face the same risk and higher risk, me and my family also. But I can pass this hardest time and to make a decision to challenge myself. I think this is the biggest success of my life because I can pass all the things, find the emotional, and I don't want to get injustice anymore in the future. That's why this is my biggest success in making the decision to participate in the CDM. This is my biggest success. I had never been faced like this success in future. The next success is I can build a support network with the pro-democracy community in Canada. Since my dismissal from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I have received support. It means the livelihood for me and my husband livelihoods, such as many from pro-democracy activists Myanmar community in Canada, and so I can build a good connections and then good network with them, and then I have connect with any other activists from the Canada and other community or in other society. This is my second set, I think. And then the third one is the after involving to the CDMs, so the ambassador gave me some important tasks to do. Could I taste and could I manage his social media platform to reach out real information to the general public at the time? So I warmly welcomes to his offer, and then I took this responsibility and task assigned by him, and then now I manage his platform, such as the Facebook page. It's nearly almost 3 years, so I can give many real information to the general public, to the new agencies, and to the people all around the world, so they know the real situations of Myanmar. I think they can feel what Myanmar people feel, and I can choose most of the information, most of the realities to reach out to all of the people. So I think this is the biggest success I did in the past, and then I will continue to do in the future. Together with the success, I have a bigger challenge to walk in this activism journey. The first one is the personal risk and safety concerns. I have immediate family members still living in Myanmar, within the country. That's why most of the military members is watch out my families, my home, and then I want to tell the one small things. My parents don't want to hanging my photo in the living rooms because they are afraid immediately checking out all the military soldiers in their home. So while the military soldiers sees my photos, and so they can do anything to my parents. That's why my parents don't want to hang my photo in the living room. So all of the data and all of the photo, all of the information about me is disappeared. So my family member has been blocked to issue the passport, to get the passports. I think they are in a trust and they are in prison. This is the biggest thing. But for my safety is now, because for my safety is quite good, because now I'm living in the democracy, the full democracy in a country that's like a Canada. That's why I think I can be good in the future, but my immediate family, including my parents, is not safe. They can be hit anything from the military. So my ultimate hope is I always pray to the Buddhas. I always pray to the pagodas. I want to get back to see my parents again in my life. And another challenge is financial instability and socioeconomic challenge. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. And financial instability is because I lost my job, income, apartment, and other privileged diplomat facilities. That's why I have so many difficulty about the financial instabilities after working in this activism journeys. You can imagine if you don't have a stable job, if you don't have a stable income, how you could survive in this expensive country, right? And then I want to ask one thing. So, according to my experience, after applying the political asylum in the immigration Canada, I have to wait nearly 1 year to get the work permit. During this 1 year, I have no legal document. I have no job because without the work permit, right? So this is very, very difficult situation for me and my husband. We cannot do anything, right? Ambition is 5 years into the future. I set as 4 key areas. The first one is the restorations or democracy in Myanmar. So my foremost hope is that Myanmar will have a successfully transition back to a democratic government that where the voice of the people are respected. I ambition a country where free and fair elections are held and the military grips on power and is dismantled. My work is supporting for democracy and human rights will contribute to this transformation, helping to rebuild trust in the government institution and fostering a culture of accountability. And the second one is the strengthen international solidarity. I aspire to see a global community that stands united against oppressions and supports the right of the individual in authoritarian regimes. And through my activism, I hope to have the foster stronger international coalition that advocate for human rights, needing to increase pressure on the oppressive governments. So these solidarities will not only benefit Myanmar, but also inspire movement for injustice and democracy is all over the world and in other parts of the world. And the third one is the empowerment of youth and marginalized groups. I ambition my work contributing to the empowerment of youth and marginalized community in Myanmar and beyond. By creating a platform for education and advocacy, I hope to inspire the next generation of leaders who are committed to the social justice. This empowerment will enable them to challenge injustice and advocate for their rights, and ensuring that their voice integrates to the democratic process. On a personal level, I ambition myself continuing to grow as a leader and advocate. I hope to have the develop new skills and build broader networks or align. Like, for example, now I attempt in the university, so I can expand my networks to the same allies. So this goal will enable me to do the effective activism work throughout my journey.